It was supposed to be the happiest morning of my life. My daughter's wedding day had finally arrived. The house was filled with flowers, laughter, photographers, and guests. Everyone smiled, except our family driver. For 23 years, Samuel had driven our family everywhere. He had never once disobeyed me, but that morning, he suddenly grabbed my arm, shoved me into the trunk of my own car, covered me with a blanket, and whispered, "Sir, don't make a sound. Trust me. You need to see what happens next." I was furious. I thought he had lost his mind. 5 minutes later, I looked through a tiny crack in the trunk, and what I witnessed outside destroyed everything I believed about my own family. The wedding day began before sunrise. My wife, Margaret, had been awake since 4 in the morning, checking every decoration. My daughter Emily couldn't stop smiling as makeup artists surrounded her. She looked exactly like her mother had looked 30 years earlier. Watching her laugh filled me with pride. I believed I had given my family everything. A beautiful home, a successful business, a comfortable life. Most importantly, trust, or at least, I thought I had. Samuel knocked on my office door. "Sir, the florist forgot something." I sighed. "I'll come." As we walked toward the garage, he kept glancing behind us. He looked nervous. Too nervous. I asked what was wrong. He didn't answer. Instead, the moment we reached the car, he suddenly opened the trunk. Before I could react, he pushed me inside. "What the hell are you doing?" I shouted. He threw a thick blanket over me. His hands were shaking. "I'm sorry, sir, but if you love your daughter, please stay quiet." The trunk slammed shut. Darkness. Silence. My heart pounded with rage. I kicked the trunk. I screamed. Nobody heard me. Then, the car never moved. That confused me. Why wasn't he driving? After several minutes, voices approached. I looked through a tiny opening. Outside, my wife walked toward the garage. She wasn't alone. Standing beside her was my business partner, Richard, my closest friend. For 20 years, he wrapped his arms around my wife. She kissed him. My entire body froze. Then Richard smiled. "After today, everything belongs to us." Margaret laughed. "He'll never suspect anything." I couldn't breathe. Samuel hadn't kidnapped me. He had hidden me. Then, another car arrived. Emily stepped out, still wearing her wedding dress. She smiled at her mother, until she saw Richard holding Margaret's hand. The smile disappeared. "What is this?" Emily whispered. Margaret tried to explain. Richard interrupted. "It doesn't matter anymore." Emily looked confused. Then Richard handed Margaret several documents. "Our lawyer says once your father signs these after the ceremony, the company is ours." Emily stared. "My father would never sign those." Richard laughed. "He won't know what he signs." My blood turned cold. Samuel had been right. There was a plan. A terrible one. Emily slowly stepped backward. "I can't believe this." Margaret grabbed her wrist. "You'll understand later." Emily pulled away. "No. Dad trusted both of you." Margaret's face changed instantly. "You don't understand how much money is involved." Emily shook her head. "I don't care." She ran. Richard chased after her. Samuel quietly unlocked the trunk. "You needed to see it with your own eyes." I climbed out. For several seconds, I couldn't speak. My entire marriage had been built on lies. Samuel handed me a small recorder. "I've been recording everything." He had suspected something for weeks. He simply had no proof. Until today. Together, we walked toward the wedding hall. Everyone smiled as if nothing had happened. Margaret looked relieved when she saw me. Richard shook my hand. "Ready for the big day?" I smiled. More than ever. The ceremony began. Guests laughed. Music played. Emily walked down the aisle. She looked at me. I nodded. She understood. After the vows, I stepped onto the stage. "I have one more surprise before the reception." Everyone applauded. A large screen lit up. Samuel connected his recorder. The entire room fell silent. Richard's voice echoed through the speakers. "After today, everything belongs to us." Then Margaret's laughter. Then every word of their conspiracy. Gasps filled the hall. Some guests covered their mouths. Others stood in disbelief. Richard's face turned white. Margaret burst into tears. Neither of them spoke. There was nothing left to deny. Police officers entered the venue. Samuel had already contacted them. Richard was arrested for fraud, conspiracy, and document forgery. Margaret looked at me. "I'm sorry." For the first time in years, I felt nothing. No anger. No revenge. Only peace. Emily hugged Samuel. "You saved our family." He smiled. "I only protected the people who treated me like family." Months later, the business recovered. Emily and her husband built a wonderful life together. Samuel refused every reward I offered. He accepted only one thing, a seat at every family dinner. Because heroes don't always wear expensive suits. Sometimes, they wear a driver's uniform and quietly save an entire family without asking for anything in return. Sometimes the greatest betrayal comes from the people closest to us, and sometimes the greatest loyalty comes from the person everyone overlooks. That wedding day didn't just reveal hidden lies. It revealed true character. Money can buy luxury, power can buy influence, but loyalty is priceless. If Samuel had stayed silent, an entire family would have been destroyed forever. Never underestimate the quiet people in your life. They may be the only ones protecting you when everyone else is pretending to love you.